I love Tuxedo Mask, and I was like, that's different because like my friends don't love like men. Friend's older brother gave us like music production stuff, weed, and like electronic music all at the same time, and I was like 14, and it was just like so much. Like it was so much. I'm coming be like, yo man, we'll pay you $50 to play in Fargo, North Dakota, and I was like, you want to pay me money to play music, my music, outside of Michigan? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I was like, what are you talking about? Oh my God. Oh, you caught me. Like, he was an alcoholic, and he was very like verbally abusive, and like that was, as a kid, like that was really like, traumatizing.
Of Sidewalk Talk. Today I'm here with GRiZ.
Hi.
Super requested.
What's up, guys?
So you were born in Metro Detroit, or?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I was born in a town called Southfield. And that's where I grew up.
Are your parents originally from there as well?
Yes. We're Michigan people born and bred.
Oh wow. What did they do?
My mom she went to school. Like, she got her master's from University of Michigan for English, and then she was a teacher. And then my parents split up. My dad worked at GM, Michigan, Detroit, Motor City, General Motors. It's like very common. Yeah, it's a thing. That's what we do.
Where do you think you got your creative side from?
I have no idea. You know, so no one in my family plays music.
Yeah.
But I watched Fantasia so much as a kid on VHS that we burnt the tape out. So I feel like that's where that comes from.
And that kind of made you want to pick up an instrument?
I wanted to play music because it felt like that's how I could connect with the world emotionally. You know, like that's what gave me like this feeling of like safety, and also made me feel really excited.
Oh.
It felt like electricity. I was like, I just really want to do it. And my mom, she's the most amazing lady ever. My personal hero. And she financed somehow for me to get this awesome piano, this little like upright piano. I was taking lessons, and I would just sit at the piano and just play random shit, for hours, just jam, not even in key, but I'd just sit there and close my eyes and I'd play music, and just for hours and hours and hours, and that just felt so good to me to connect with sound. I don't know why.
And then soon after you picked up other instruments, or? In
5th grade, I was lucky enough. My school, they had you like choose an instrument to like play, and it was mandatory, which is so crazy. Yeah. Like, can you believe that? Like in school, they're like, all right, now everyone gets to play an instrument. I thought it was so cool. I remember my classmates were like, oh no, you have to play music, and I was like, yes, music. But so I originally played. Fun fact, my first instrument that I ever played was oboe, and I was playing this oboe, and my mom was like, okay, you're really bad at it. It's like...
She's like so real with you.
She was trying to help me though, because she was like giving me lessons, and like she was like she would take me to lessons, but she was like, listen, like this is too complicated of an instrument, like just try something else. Yeah. And like thank God, because I chose this instrument because I just wanted to play this one song. It's like a Disney song. It's like Peter and the Wolf. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Small details. So, yeah, eventually she was like, all right, just cut it out with this oboe thing. You're like, it sounds horrible. So she was like, please pick a different instrument. And so then I went with saxophone. And I've just been playing it ever since. Yeah.
And going back to your parents, when you were growing up, was your dad really alcoholic? I think I read in a previous interview.
Yeah, so that's why my parents split up originally, was that he was an alcoholic, and he was very like verbally abusive, and like that was, as a kid, like that was really like traumatizing. Like he'd come to our baseball games and like yell shit at the ref, and like it was just like, it was embarrassing, and it was like, it's just traumatizing, you know? And still stuff that I deal with today. But I have such a good support system of friends, and my mom was such a rock in the household. You know, like she she absorbed all of the bad vibes and like all of like the
Wow.
hatred in the household, and was able to like create a safe space for my brother and I, and eventually that's why they split. But my relationship with my father is like kind of like disintegrated because he's just on his own path, you know, and maybe our lives will intersect again. But my mom remarried to this man, and he has been such like a strong person in my life. So
wow.
this is how to like be a man, you know, and like taught me how to respect myself and to be a respectable person. And my mom taught me love. You
I
know?
love that.
She's the
Oh, you're just like, I love you're like glowing when you talk about her.
she's the best, man. She always supported me, like no matter what I was doing, and like moms, I don't know, man. Like that's just like some superhero magical being thing. Like I put on for moms 100%.
And then you realized you were gay like really early on, right? But you were still like dating girls or like trying to hide the fact.
Yo, so this is big facts. Yeah, I honestly, it was like I was watching Sailor Moon, and I had a big crush on Tuxedo Mask, and this is like in elementary school.
Yeah.
Or like late elementary school, and Sailor Moon is like this like anime. But like I hope you know it. If you don't, you should watch.
I'll
like,
put a picture here for you guys, just in case.
Yeah. And then you gotta throw in a picture of Tuxedo Mask because he was just, oh my gosh. I don't know what it was, but my first crush was on a cartoon. So darky. So anyways, yeah, I love Tuxedo Mask, and I was like, that's different because like my friends don't love like men, and I was like, okay, well, I guess that's what it is. But I had a really tough time with it because it wasn't normal, and like there was like one gay kid in my entire high school, and it was like hard to find an example of like what it was to be gay.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is wrong, like I'm wrong, there's something that's wrong with me. And so I was just like, maybe I haven't found like the right girlfriend yet, like maybe it wasn't the right person. And so then here they are. That's this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Purple.
Ooh,
Lavender looking.
But after a while, I was like, you know what? Like, when I got to college is when I really was able to accept that about myself because I finally had like a group of gay friends.
Yeah.
And they like taught me. They like schooled me. You know. They're like this is like how to do it. And I was like, oh shit. Like okay, cool. That's awesome.
Then you also asked your mom to take you to like a psychiatrist.
Yeah. So when I was going through high school, I was seeing a shrink, but it wasn't like it just didn't. The time was tough because I was like so rebellious, and I didn't like taking advice from people, and I still don't. I'm working on that, because I'm just like a very type A kind of person, and I wanted to know what was going on, you know. But like it's hard to like listen to somebody who like doesn't like I can't relate to, you know. And like my friends in college, like I could relate to them. I was like, yo, like these are my peers, you know. And they like thank God for like good friends, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's so big.
And you got into producing when you were 14 through like your brothers, like weed friends, or
Okay, so my friend's older brother gave us like music production stuff, weed, and like electronic music all at the same time, and I was like 14, and it was just like so much. Like it was so much, like getting stoned and like listening to like this crazy electronic music, and like my brain felt like it was exploding, but in a cool way, and it just like it did something to me, and I felt like I had to do it. I had to make music, and I would like stay up super late at night, like a lot of kids would like stay up and party. I also did that. But I would stay up really late at night, and my mom would like come downstairs and like be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like sitting there like not watching porn, but just like doing like EDM shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just like bust into the room and be like, "Oh my god!"
Tiesto.
Yeah.
But this was like how many years ago? Like more than 14? Like, what were you listening to back then? This must have been like pretty early days of
Like
EDM.
real early. Like this was like EDM wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
This was like, I was listening to like Aphex Twin and Square Pusher and like Plug and I don't know, Wagon Christ. Like it was like weird. It was IDM at the time. That's what it was called. Intelligent dance music.
Wow.
It's just like glitchy and drum and bass kind of stuff. And then like I kind of got into hip hop, and then by way of hip hop, dubstep started happening, and then house music started happening in my life, and I was like, all right, cool. I like all this stuff.
Yeah. What did you study at Michigan State?
Partying. For real.
Damn.
I changed my major 4 times because I found out that you could change your major if you were failing and not have them kick you out because it kind of like reset your status at the school. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I don't know if that's still a thing, but.
So what kind of topics or like majors were they?
I started with business.
Okay.
Wait, no, I started as pre-med. So many people started as pre-med. We're like, we're gonna be doctors and make tons of money and save people's lives. And then you realize you have to take all these classes in schools like 8 years long, and you're like, we're not gonna do that. like screw being a doctor. Then it was like business, and then I went to this college of business, and I was like, well, this is just depressing because like everybody's in business, and like they wouldn't even have you put your name on the exam. Just like your student number. So I was like, instead of writing my name, I was like A414-38541. And I'm like, oh, never, that's facts, that's my number. So I hated that. I was like, no, let's not do that. Then I was in psychology, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, but you actually have to study. And I was like, not really into studying. So I was like, well, got to do something else. And then my last major was something that I actually really enjoyed doing, which was the arts school. Mm-hmm. It was called the RCAH, the Residential College of Arts and Humanities. And one of my entire classes, and this is like kind of what being in the RCAH was like. The entire class was what is art, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
And we like researched like what art is and read a bunch of books, and I was like really interested in that. And our final exam, like studied for it, like you do for finals, like you study and you cram in all this information. And the professor was like, all right, I want everybody to take out a single sheet of paper from a notebook. Did that. He's like, now rip it in half. Did that. It's like, write what is art at the top of it. Did that. And he's like, answer that with no longer than the half sheet of paper that I've given you, and that's your final. And I was like, what? To which I said, I wrote one word down, and I just wrote everything. Handed that in. Yeah. And I got a 4 point.
No way! That's so cool.
Gang.
Wow.
Art is everything.
Yeah. And then how long? So were you already putting out music while you were in college?
Yeah, that's when I started putting out music. So music was like SoundCloud. Yeah. And it's funny because like SoundCloud at the time was like so weird. It was like this like small little community of people that like, oh my god, look at this pup. Ooh, your dog is so cute. It's so amazing. I love puppies the most.
Yeah, your eye is like, what? Like, oh my god.
Yo, that dog doesn't even look real.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
It looks like a cartoon.
It looks like a chicken nugget that's
a chicken nugget?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. SoundCloud. Yeah, SoundCloud was crazy, man. It was just like a bunch of people making like glitch hop music and like putting it on this website. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I was releasing music at the time.
And then how did you get your initial momentum?
People would book me on SoundCloud. They'd like slide into my DMs on SoundCloud and be like, yo man, we'll pay you $50 to play in Fargo, North Dakota. And I was like, you want to pay me money to play music? My music outside of Michigan? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm so down. Mm-hmm. I'll go all over the country getting paid I would pay money out of my pocket for the flights to go play these shows.
Oh wow.
And I was so broke at the time. I was like borrowing money from my brother.
You were a waiter, right? When was that?
I was a waiter all my high school career.
Okay.
And then I worked washing dishes at LS Teca at Michigan State University for a few years. remember quitting that job. That was the last job, like real job I ever had.
No way. You never had to do a desk job.
I was like, so I worked as a debt collector in high school for an entire summer. So I get the cubicle life, and it's hard. It's hard. So like anybody that's working that like 9 to 5 cubicle life, like yo, big props, because that is some really difficult-ish to do, and respect. Yeah. Big respect.
And then how long after were you until you were touring with Grammatic?
That was, wow, you know all this shit? Damn. That was I was doing like minor touring for like 3 years. Just like on some random touring shit, like places that a lot of people don't even know exist, like Sebastopol, California. like what is that? But it was dope, you know. Like I made a lot of really great friends and had a lot of really great times and got to experiment with myself, like mentally, like who I was, and like travel alone. I think like personal traveling alone is really important. It like helps get perspective and helps you understand like who you are as a person. Woo! Yeah.
And then can you tell the story about the unbanned from Canada, the lie that you told them?
Oh my God, yo, you know about the unbanned from Canada thing? Oh my God, this is like a fucking Nardwuar interview. Oh my God, I was at the Canadian border, and we didn't have our customs forms filled out correctly. This is a long time ago. It was different times.
That's why I wanted to
different times.
Remind them.
And we're talking like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And so I get to the border, and they're like, "Why are you here?" And I was like, "Snowboarding." And
like the first thing that came to
mind. They're like, "Where's your stuff?" Because I had no I didn't have a snowboard. I didn't have like a jacket. It like wasn't necessarily even in season. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're snowboarding in the summer? And I was like, you guys do that in the summer, right? And wow.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's very blue. And they're like, yeah, okay, bullshit. And like, so they took me to like this like other like processing room thing, and in my bag there was like some like DJ gear, and they're like, "What's this?" And I was like, "I make music." And they're like, "What's the project name?" They're like, I was like, "It's called GRiZ." And like they like look it up, and they're like, "What's this GRiZ show in Canada like tomorrow night?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? Oh my God." Oh, you caught me. Like, I'm so sorry. My bad. And they banned me from Canada for a year.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, you can't just come to our country and lie
Seriously,
while you're here to customs agents. I was like, is it really that bad? They're like, it's that serious. I was like, okay, well. And then they banned me for a year.
Oh my
that was
God.
not good. So it's serious. Don't mess around with the Canadian border people, because respect our Canadian brothers and sisters. Facts.
And then how did you come up with GRiZmas?
GRiZmas, man. At the time it was just like a fun thing, but I think it turned into like this big charity thing because I've gotten a little bit more mature and focused on partying a little bit less and about other people a little bit more, like less selfish, you know? Like I want to give myself back to other people because I can, and I feel like it's my duty to do that. My duty.
Yeah.
And it's just like a friend of mine, there's this picture of him. This was before GRiZmas was even a thing. And there's a picture of him, he's like wasted, he's got like a drink in his hand. I had this performance in Detroit like over a decade ago. And the sign there was like a sign that was like hand painted.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got the paint, but like it just says Happy GRiZmas on it.
Oh.
And we're all like, yo, that's sick. That's sick. Like, we should do GRiZmas.
Yeah.
So it's like this weird thing where we're not really exactly sure who started GRiZmas. The GRiZmas spirit started GRiZmas. And it never ends. The GRiZmas spirit is year-round.
Year-round.
Yeah.
And how did the MeUndies come about? I was so excited. I was like driving to the gym, like I saw you. I'm like, yes, I'm interviewing you.
I saw one of the billboards. I was like, yo, that's sick. I've been talking with MeUndies for a long time just because I like their underwear a lot. It's just really, really soft, and it looks cool. And like I think for dudes, we don't really like, I don't want to speak for all dudes, because like shouts out like the homies that got a good underwear game going on. There's a lot of us now, so like big ups, because that shit matters. Like, I like underwear. So shouts out underwear gang. Like, you got a good underwear game, like that's dope. But they like upped my underwear game, because at the time I wasn't really like thinking about it too much, you know. And like, so like one of my managers at the time was getting like stuff from MeUndies, and then like they started giving me some free stuff, and they're like, yo, we dig your music. I was like, that's dope. I dig your underwear. So you guys should keep sending me free underwear, because like I'm really here for that. Like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm also really broke, so like that helps a lot. And wow, where are we? Because this is like really nice.
Yeah.
They approached me and they're like, yo, like we have this Pride campaign coming up and we want you to be a part of it. What do you think? And I was like, that sounds awesome. I'm not a model, but if you give me a chance, if you just give me a chance, we can knock it out.
You already have like athletic body from high school though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I used to play sports a lot, that's for sure, but I found it was really important to like, as in conjunction with like keeping a clean mind.
Yeah.
And being mentally present, and like choosing sobriety over like getting fucked up all the time. Like, I think that's cool. Like, being sober is dope.
Yeah.
I also wanted to be like physically healthy.
Yeah.
You know, like not smoking cigarettes all the time, or like vaping, or like smoking pot, you know. So I started seeing a trainer like 2 years ago, and I do that every day.
Wow, nice. And can you talk about your Red Rocks performance?
Yeah, which one? We've done it like, I think.
You have one that's the last one, right? Or,
yeah, the one
that
coming
one.
up. So one of the, this is me like 2 nights. One of the sets is like all the throwback stuff, just like honoring the past, you know, kind of a thing. So I've been doing Red Rocks for like 6 years, I think, which is like cool. And Red Rocks is like amazing. But I also want to do something new. You know, I want to grow.
Yeah.
I want to grow the idea. I've got new ideas, and I feel like I need to challenge myself. And like doing Red Rocks isn't so much of a challenge, and I'm not really like, I don't feel like inspired so much to go back there and like do something new. You know, there's like limits to the shit, you know? I want to make a more 3D encompassing performance, and I want to try something. So if you guys let me, I just want to try something. I feel like it'd be really cool. So I've got a plan. It's gonna be awesome. Just bear with me, because I know like people love Red Rocks so much, and it's sad for last year, but there's a future to the thing, and like the only way you can move forward is by moving forward.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move forward. We're gonna try some new shit.
I love that. What was the decision to do the year off social media?
Yo, you gotta take a break from the gram.
Yeah.
You got to. It's crazy sometimes. Social media is nuts. You guys are nuts. I can't do it all the time. So I just need to like take a break and like just reconnect with myself.
Is it weird now going from that to like non-stop social, or?
Yeah. You need a condom? They're everywhere in LA.
They are?
You just
Wow,
pick them up off the ground.
Whoa.
I'm gonna leave this here for somebody who needs it. More than I do. Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely a big flip, but I use it more responsibly now. Like, like I was just. It's like every single second I was chilling, it was just like I'm like on Instagram, just like looking at something, you know?
Yeah.
And like I feel like that turns you into a boring person. Like always being on social media, like you know the type.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you got nothing to contribute real, because you don't even live your own life. You just be living on social media. Like, that's fucking boring.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to live my life. I want to use these things to look at this thing. You know, this is so dope. We're out here finding condoms on the ground and shit. You know, like life is interesting. You might just see some condoms on the ground.
What was the main inspiration for Ride Waves?
Life is temporary. So are the tides. I wanted like to write something that, that was like symbolic of like the ephemeral, the temporary quality of life. You know, like I'm only gonna be here for a short amount of time, and also like incorporates like the idea of like balance. You know, life takes balance. Like I can't just be doing all this one thing. I need to like, you know, not just be like always so super positive or always sad. You know, like life is all these different things. Like I shouldn't spend all my time working or all my time chilling. You know, like I need to like balance my life between work and play and the lightness and the dark, you know, it's like everything is like in that flux, but also like nothing lasts, you know. So that was like kind of my clever way of trying to say all those things really simply. Yeah.
And what made you decide to have Snoop Dogg?
Because
So
why
cool.
not?
Yeah.
He's so dope. There's like he doesn't sound bad, you know, like he doesn't.
Oh, he's
like,
yeah,
his voice
he's so
is just
good.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, and honestly, like personal hero of mine, you know, like Snoop Dogg is the man.
Yeah. How would you say your music has changed compared to the early songs you've made?
It'll always be GRiZ music, you know? But I'm trying to like elevate what I do, you know, mentally, conceptually, from the performance perspective. It'll always be GRiZ music, but I'm just trying to elevate, like Gangstar said, I'm like trying to elevate things with the times, you know what I'm saying? Like the style of beats is elevated, the rhyme style is elevated, but it's still Guru Premier, like that whole thing, like that's, I want to take something that I do really well, but I want to grow. So I got to like challenge myself and make things a little different. So now it's like a little bit more song related. I'm doing a lot more things with live instruments and not sampling records anymore, and like making my own sounds and writing my own tunes, you know, like that's kind of where it is now.
What would you say have been the biggest challenges in your life other than coming out?
Damn. Trusting people.
Yeah.
You know, that's a hard one. Like, I always feel like people are bullshitting, and I have a tough time trusting people. Maybe that's just like, you know, from the past, like things that happened with my parents, you know, like, because I couldn't trust, like when my dad was like at home or not, or like, you know, I don't know. But I have a tough time trusting people. That's like my life's biggest challenge, and so I'm working on that. I'm still working on that.
Yeah. Last question, what do you want to be remembered for? That's a tough question. Yeah.
What is like my after I die? Shit, man. I just want to be remembered as somebody who gave more than they took.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I love this.
Thank you. I love you guys. And I love you. Kind of a hug. Yes. That was a fun walk. That was nice.
Oh, thank you.
You got me to come outside and hang. We got to see more parts of this neighborhood I haven't seen before, and more plants and flowers
And condoms
beautiful
on the
colors,
floor.
and condoms on the ground.